Hey, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Madman24, and hello to all you BattleBots fans out there. I know I am. Today, we will be reviewing the HEXBUG Battlebots Rivals Kit, including the all-new Duck and RotatoR. This ought to be exciting.
Unleash the power of HEXBUG Battlebots. You can control Duck's formidable flipper or chop the competition with RotatoR's dual spinning blades. Master your bot, then master the BattleBox. HEXBUG Battlebots. Each sold separately.
So taking a look at the packaging, you can see that both robots are displayed extremely well. They're not doing the exploded view anymore that looks like all the pieces are coming off. I guess they kind of stopped doing that, but I do like the way that these are presented. Duck is really well presented with his beak on the ground. RotatoR, those two blades, awesome. On the bottom, you can see the controllers. It won't really matter which robot has which. It just matters which one is on a different channel, so that doesn't really matter. On the side, you can see each robot. And on the back, you can see some information about both robots. If you want to pause the video to read them, go ahead. And now that you've finished reading them, at the bottom, they show how the remote works, but how you can get the arena with Bronco and Witch Doctor. And on the bottom, you get the barcode and some legal yep-wop. Enough talking about the packaging. Let's get to the thing that everyone wants to see. So here are the two robots now. They're pretty well sized to each other and they look incredible. Duck looks absolutely amazing. I am shocked. I'm shocked that it looks this good. You got the Proto Labs on top, which looks incredible. You got the little rivets going all around the robot to make it look like it's really bolted on. The Duck logo and thing are really well designed. The wheels, what can I say? They look exactly like the wheels off the real Duck. The front two are driven by the motors. The back two are armor pieces and freewheeling. Yes, they are magnetic. And the beak. How can I speak about this beak? It is incredible. This beak is on fleek, yo. I don't know why I said that, but seriously, this beak is incredible. They got the top, pick really well, so when Duck does the thing, it's super good looking. The whole robot just looks incredible. On the underside, you got the spots for the battery compartments, and they did a really decent job about making sure that the batteries didn't really interfere with the rest of the robot. You got the on-off button and some legal slat stuff. So overall, Duck looks amazing. RotatoR is represented just as well. This is representing his Season 4 model, where he had these little nubs on the top and bottom. But the discs look absolutely incredible. The wheels are nice and thick, very thick rubber, so they're good for getting speed and traction. The top panel right here, that can come off, that's got some really nice molded design into it, like the vents for the fans and the bolts and rivets. That looks absolutely amazing. There are a few screw holes here, but it doesn't really bother me as much as some people would. On the underside, it looks like I didn't even turn the robot over because it's the exact same robot. The robot is perfectly symmetrical. Even the name is symmetrical. I'll let you figure that out for a second. On the underside, you got the on-off button, the battery compartment, and some more legal splat. So, RotatoR looks absolutely awesome. Moving on to removable parts, each robot has 3 parts that can be taken off, making it look like the robot has been through a lot of damage. Duck's 3 removable pieces include his top panel and the rear wheels. The beak, sadly, does not come off, but it's a wedge bot. What do you expect? Inside the robot, you can see all the gears that make the arms turn, the gears and motors that make the wheels run, and even the batteries that are included with the set. Duck is awesome, and the innards of Duck are just as beautiful. Not like an actual Duck's, which is all bloody and stuff. RotatoR's 3 removable pieces include his front and back wedges. They're kind of held on tight if you pull them the wrong way. But they hold on very nicely, and the top panel comes off as well. Count them up, 1, 2, 3. Leaving a kind of grayish robot, almost similar to Season 2 when he lost one of his paint coats on the front of the robot. But still, it looks very good. Even when it's upside down, it looks the same, nearly, which is literally the symmetry of RotatoR. Now that we've got the pieces back on, let's see them in action. To control the robots, each one comes with its own remote. Now, neither one is very different. They both have 2 buttons on the top, and this is a first because Duck actually has a lifting wedge where you'll have to raise and lower it. It's not just like Rotator where you click one button and it goes on. You have to click the other button to make it go either up or down. The 4 channels at the bottom can help you fight 4 bots at the same time. The controls are very easy to learn. They fit really well, even in the biggest hands. They're super fun. They're super easy to use during battle. You can actually use them from up to 15 feet away. So if you're deciding to take a really long distance away from your robot, go ahead. 15 feet will do. Let's see what Duck looks like in action. Pretty cool. Duck's weapon is definitely a harder one to figure out, but once you know how to use it, it is super fun. So on the remote, you click the right button to make the wedge go up, and you click the left button to make it go down. Just like in Season 4, where he was able to kind of count out with the judge. And what's super cool, the wedge can go all the way over the robot and make it stand up, also making it do some pretty weird things. And if you hit the gas, you can actually drive the robot upside down. Yes, you may lose your top panel, but hey, your back wheels are protected now because they're behind the wedge and in between the little struts that hold them. One downside with driving Duck upside down, the receiver is a little weird. It'll sometimes make the robot go forward when it should be going backwards. But if you know what you're doing, then it should be super easy to control Duck. He can even flip back upside down, or right side up. There is another problem with Duck that I don't think many people are talking about, and it is a fact that when Duck sometimes puts his wedge down too low, they'll high center the wheels and they won't be able to go. I've only had that happen to me like very rarely. See this? The wedge is incredibly low. I can't get the wheels to go on traction. But all I need to do is just click the button again, raise the wedge just a little bit, and I'm good as new. So it's super easy to control Duck when he's driving. The remote is even cooler when he's doing the flips, and it is so cool watching the wedge go up and over the robot. It is truly awesome. Now let's move on to Rotator. Rotator is just as easy to start as every other BattleBot in the HEXBUG lineup. All you gotta do, just click the button, the wheels will rotate for a second, and you're good to go. Just pair him to a controller, and he's good to go. One thing I did notice about Rotator, the weapon is really loud. It is a lot louder than the average BattleBot's weapon, and I have heard some pretty loud ones. Bronco's Flipper, it makes some weird noises occasionally. Sometimes you'll see Blacksmith make some like weird noises when he's driving, but Rotator's weapon is just really loud. But the robot is extremely cool to drive because it is perfectly symmetrical. You can have a high horizontal spinner or you can have an undercutter spinner. And undercutters are some of my favorite weapons in BattleBots. And even if the robot gets flipped upside down, boom, same robot, doesn't matter. But the same thing happens with Duck, where if he is flipped upside down, there will be a few receiver problems. It's not going to completely slow you down, it's just going to be a little annoying, because sometimes the robot will just continue going forward when you want it to stay put. But those weapons are super cool. They spin with a lot of ferocity, they are extremely powerful, and they're not really something you want to take for granted. But there is another problem, and I will let you spot it on your own in the next clip. Here's the problem that I don't think people will understand when they get their bot. See the problem? Both weapons are connected to the same motor. They're not independent of each other. So if one weapon stops, the other weapon will stop as well, which can sometimes be a problem if you get pinned up against the wall and you're trying to grind using one disc, but the other isn't working. But When you're not against a wall, it is really easy to use because the weapons will just spin on their own. And even though they do come with 2 buttons on the controller, all you need to do is just click one and the weapon will stay on, or click the same one and it will turn off. It doesn't really matter because this is one of those bots where you just click the button and the weapon will stay on. It's not like Duck where you have to have up and down at the same time. But RotatoR, simple, easy, symmetrical. What else can I say? So overall, what do I think of these robots? What can I say? Both of them are incredible. RotatoR is one of my favorite robots, and so is Duck. And each one is well crafted. Each robot just has a lot of detail that you won't really see on another robot. Unless later robots come out with the same amount of detail. But besides the point, I love both robots to death. And I think I actually prefer Duck over RotatoR in this certain situation, just because I love the way his weapon just moves. It is so weird, but it is so cool. Just like the show, I love realism. I'm not going to add like battle scars or like scratches, but I am just going to fight these guys to the death and have a lot of fun. RotatoR spinner is incredibly powerful. Duck's wedge can't lift anything, but it is still super fun. You can protect the wheels. You can literally do 360s. It's a lot of fun. All I'm saying is go buy these things. They are stupid cool. So that is my comprehensive review of the new HEXBUG Battlebots. What robots do you think HEXBUG will make in the future? I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments below. Thanks for watching, but I gotta tune out. I've been Madman24, you've been you, thanks for watching.